You're joining me as I am completing, and this seems to be a recurring theme, my third delivery of the day. And this is a catering opportunity that is a medium-sized catering opportunity, not like the one that I had yesterday, Tuesday, June 17, 2025, in which the total dollar amount on that one yesterday was $3,480, and it was divided up among myself and another driver. This one, the dollar total was like $820, I want to say $820, maybe $835 tops. But it's manageable. It's been packaged with several trays and some bags for other items. But that is not the reason my doing this segment of the Gig Geezer. My reason for doing this segment of the Gig Geezer is it started from checking out a fellow colleague's channel, one of his most recent videos, in which he documented how he earned $415 in a day, and the money that he earned was largely not based on his contract opportunity. The person whom I'm talking about is Mr. Sam Randall. He's of the west coast of Florida. He was earlier this year, he was a guest of mine on my live stream, I'm Speaking. And Mr. Randall operates a Ford Transit extended body, long wheelbase, high roof Transit 250. And he's doing quite well. I mean, hell, Geezer has had to step up to his level with the money that he has documented earning both last year and so far this year. And in recent months, I have reached that level of revenue. But even then, that's not even what the reason why I'm doing this segment of the Gig Geezer. And I know that I'm kind of burying the lead a little bit, but the headline, the main focus of this segment is about hustle versus business. Running a hustle versus running a business. Hustling versus businessman. Hustler versus businessman. Running a hustle or running a business. So I've repeated myself a few times, but I hope you get where I'm going with that. And while I'm at it, Mr. Sam Randall, his channel is CMS Cargo Express. That's his YouTube channel. But what caught my attention was this comment from a viewer, may be a subscriber, he may not be, but he says no one is calling you for business unless you have your own application, he says. No one is calling you for business unless you have your own application like those apps. Business don't work by passing out cards anymore. You may get one customer out of 30. Everyone wants to talk about delivery business, but no one is talking about them having their own application. So that's what he commented. Mr. Sam Randall replied, "Well, it's working great for me." Well, I'm gonna comment first by saying that I believe that the age-old, time-honored tradition of passing out cards still work. Yes, there is more of a trend of people wanting to see perhaps someone's business site, and you may have an actual advantage by if you can have an app that's developed, and that may be the trend. But still, people ask about if you have a business card, because the business card is still the first step in the process. It's your calling card. It introduces you to that person. So for him to say that, it's very short-sighted. And it makes me wonder if he really has a business. But then he went on to say that everyone is regurgitating information to get paid off of YouTube. It's sad. So this is where I have a fucking problem with Mr. James Potts 2656. If you go to his channel, he ain't got shit up there. This motherfucker ain't got shit up there and is talking mucho shit. So I had to say that because I got to talk in support of Mr. Sam Randall. Now, if it was somebody else, I may not say anything. I may not even mention anything about this. But this leads into my wanting to delve into the conversation about hustle versus business. I can talk about both because I've been a party of both. And some may say that what I do, my business enterprise, what comprises my business enterprise, may be a hybrid. You may even say that about Mr. Sam Randall. He has a contract opportunity, but yet he works the gig apps, and he also has, from time to time, certain cash game opportunities. My business operation is all of the above, plus load board-based brokered opportunities. That's the difference between myself and Mr. Sam Randall. That said, what is the difference? And why do I say there's a difference? Well, when I think of hustle, I think of my days at the bowling alley. And I've talked about the bowling alley a lot because, hey, the bowling alley was the second home for me in my teenager years. First, I started out bowling junior leagues. Then I started hanging out, keeping score. And then a guy named Cat, John Watson was his name, actually kind of backed me. He was beating this guy named Joe Wise so bad that he pulled me off from where I was practicing on the pier a couple of lanes away and said, hey man, don't worry, just bowl. I got you. He backed me. I beat Joe Wise out of his money just as Cat did. And that got me started wanting to bowl for money. And I was like, 18 years old at the time. But what I do recall about when you're hustling, when you're really hustling, like at the bowling alley or my second home, which is a racetrack, your mindset is that you're looking to make money fast. You're looking to make money fast. It's like something in the microwave. You want it to cook fast. You want it to be ready fast. You're not thinking about any true strategy of how you go about doing things. You're just trying to make money. And I think that in this delivery and transport space, a lot of people come into this with that mindset. They come into it with this quick money hustle mindset, thinking that they can just come in and make what they see on these channels, and then reality hits, and then they want to talk. They want to trash the notion of doing delivery and transport. If you want to make it for the long haul, you've got to treat this as a business. Something that I've said many a times. If you want to see business-like results, you got to treat it as a business. A business involves strategy. It involves planning. It involves you playing chess and not checkers. It involves you considering costs. It involves you considering your cash flow. It involves you thinking about your breakpoint when you're starting out. And what I've said about the breakpoint, the intersection of your income in an upward path, crossing your expenses, your outlays, your outlays, both home and business. That's right. When you run a business, it's a completely different mindset from a hustle. When you're out there hustling, you're not thinking about that shit. All you're thinking about is trying to make a quick fucking dollar. I've been in that mind. I've had that mindset. I mean, I'll give you another example of hustling someone or just doing a hustle, just running a hustle. This actually happened. This was like 1982 or 1983. I've mentioned this name, Cleo Hicks. Cleo Hicks one night after subbing in a 6 o'clock league, hustled 4 guys out of their fucking money. And I was a witness to it because I kept score. Cleo kept talking them into, come on man, put them 10. Okay. So he beat this guy named B.B. Hollins out of his money. He beat another dude, Charles Booker, out of his money. Another dude, Cottrell Turner, out of his fucking money. It was hilarious. When Cleo got finished taking about $100 between the three of them, he flipped me 20, or no, it was 10, because when you keep score of the pot game, you get 10% of the pot. So I got 10, he kept 90, and we talked about it when he gave me a ride home. That's hustling, okay? Now, I get it when we say we like someone's hustle and we're talking about someone's effort. But hustling, as what I know, is when you're basically running a game. You're running a game and trying to beat somebody before they beat you. When you're running a business, That's not your mindset. Your mindset as a business person is to be able to come back the next day, and the day after that, the week after that, the month after that, and the year after that. Okay? So I know that something like this is not a popular subject. This is not about someone's victory lap in which they made $500 driving 200 miles. And they think that they got reason to grab their Johnson and pimp their walk for that type of money. Shit, I've made $500 and not even leave the city limits. Okay? So it's not a big deal to me. But we all make progress. We all make progress, and progress is incremental. So, you know, you can't trash somebody for that accomplishment. That said, for me, where I'm at this point, when I see someone when they have a victory lap like that, I'd like to see them have other victory laps and even greater victory laps down the road. And that's the test. That is the test. That is the test of how you actually run a business or not, or you're running a hustle. So I'm actually about 3 minutes from the drop-off location for this catering order. And so what we will do is resume this conversation upon delivering this catering opportunity. So we are done. What I've got are a couple of photos of some items that were partially set up. And the reason I say partially set up, because the person who coordinated things was rather quick to take items to another part of the office space. And so what I have here on the inset are where the items were initially placed out onto the table. While I'm at it, if this is your first time checking out the Gig Geezer, or if you're a returning visitor of the Gig Geezer, thanks for coming by. Hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome comments in the section below. So I want to end this segment, this conversation about hustling versus running a business, hustler versus business person. There are some words that come to mind when I think of running a business. I think of LLC, or a corporation. I think of EIN, which is the tax ID number, the employer ID number. That's what EIN means. I think of words like investment, and I think of words like return on investment. When you're hustling, you're not thinking about investing, because any significant outlays of money actually hinders your ability to hustle, because that is your seed money to hustle. When you think of LLC, you're not thinking of LLC unless you're trying to be a crook. When you think of tax ID number, well, you're probably trying to avoid taxes. When you think of return on investment, what is your return on investment when hustling? Well, maybe if you win, you don't come home broke. Those are analogies or words that come to mind in this particular conversation. There are people who do start off with a hustling mentality, and eventually they evolve into actually forming a true business. Now, those people I commend, because they started out rather non-committal, but found that, hey, this works, so let's make a run of this. And that's what I hope for people. But unfortunately, in the delivery and transport space, unfortunately, with folk having very short attention spans, with folk having these unrealistic expectations, they're looking for hustling type results, but yet claim to be in business. And another thing when it comes to business, this is something that I've talked about too. So we're in delivery and transport. We talk about sprinter vans or box trucks or SUVs and pickup trucks and all that. The thing is, you have to know what you want to do. You have to be able to articulate and define what is it that you're doing, what is it that you want to do. Because if you're just saying that I'm in the sprinter van business or the cargo van business, well, okay, congratulations. But what is it that you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? Well, if you can't answer that question, and as I've said this before, you're at a great disadvantage. I said previously that you fucked up already, but you're already at a great disadvantage because you have no compass, no business compass that you could stay on course to accomplish what you set out to do. That's why you need to know what the hell you want to do first. You can talk about all that other stuff, man. I can talk about all that other stuff, but I'm giving you straight core answers. I'm giving you core answers from experience, having run an insurance agency for over the last 20 years in various iterations, and even more so, or going on the last 3 years in this current delivery and transport space, in which I have made, I have all these words that I have mentioned to you, I have done them. Okay, I have documented them on this channel. So that's all I have to share for this particular segment of the Get Geezer. If you like the content that's been provided in this segment or in any other segment, hit that subscribe button, give my content a thumbs up, share my content among others, and I definitely welcome your comments in the section below. I'm Inwood Lane. As always, may your grind and may your hustle continue.